I'm a private investigator. I've got some book that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Pyro Nyson Jr., to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much, you sir.
Exactly, appreciate it.
In a shocking turn of events, Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dothan, finds herself embroiled in controversy not only regarding her political career but also due to alleged ties to music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Henyard is facing scrutiny over her role as mayor amid accusations of corruption and misuse of power. This situation has intensified with Diddy's recent arrest for trafficking and mistreatment, prompting social media uproar. Rumors suggest that Henyard attended Diddy's infamous parties, sparking comparisons between the two figures. Critics argue that her political scandals mirror Diddy's criminal charges, with some calling for her arrest. Diddy, a polarizing figure in the entertainment industry, has been accused of running illicit operations while leveraging his influence to facilitate his alleged crimes. These revelations have ignited public outrage, leading many to re-examine the connections between Diddy and those in his orbit, including politicians, celebrities, and influencers. As fans and critics scrutinize Henyard's ties to the music mogul, speculation mounts about her involvement or knowledge of his illegal activities. The intertwining of their scandals has created a narrative that places Henyard under a critical spotlight, raising questions about the integrity of her leadership and the broader implications for her political future.
Another month and Dalton Village trustees sit down to handle business, not at City Hall, but at a Parks Field House. Absent from the monthly board meeting, Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dothan, finds her political career hanging by a thread amid a growing storm of accusations regarding corruption and misuse of authority. Recent reports allege that she has engaged in a variety of unethical practices, including the mismanagement of public funds and making dubious decisions that disproportionately benefit her inner circle. These scandals have severely tarnished her once promising political image, leading many to question her integrity and capability as a leader. Rather than being seen as a rising star in local politics, Henyard has become a controversial figure. Local residents and political opponents have voiced their frustration with her leadership, with some openly calling for her resignation. The corruption charges have fueled speculation that Henyard might have deeper connections to individuals involved in criminal enterprises, such as music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, whose recent legal troubles have been widely publicized. With Diddy's arrest making headlines for serious allegations of trafficking and mistreatment, parallels have begun to emerge between him and Henyard, suggesting that she may share his apparent disregard for the law. Social media has erupted with criticism, as users accuse Henyard of mirroring Diddy's unethical behavior. Given her own track record of alleged corruption, many argue that she, too, should face legal consequences for her actions. Platforms like X and Instagram have seen a flood of comments asserting that both Henyard and Diddy have abused their power to further personal agendas, undermining the trust of the very constituents they were elected to serve. The growing chorus calling for Henyard's arrest highlights a broader sentiment that public figures, whether politicians or celebrities, must be held accountable for their actions. The latest rumors surrounding Henyard's attendance at Diddy's notorious parties have only intensified the scrutiny. These gatherings, long rumored to involve questionable and potentially illegal activities, are now under the microscope following Diddy's arrest. Henyard, who reportedly attended several of these events, is being scrutinized for any potential involvement in the shady dealings that took place behind closed doors. While attending a celebrity party may not initially seem suspicious, the timing of these rumors, paired with her ongoing political troubles, has raised significant eyebrows. Critics are questioning whether Henyard was merely a guest at these events or if she had any involvement in the illicit activities now linked to Diddy. As more details emerge regarding Diddy's arrest, public demand for answers from Henyard about her connections to his social circles is likely to grow. The corruption charges she currently faces have already dealt a serious blow to her reputation, but these latest rumors connecting her to Diddy's criminal activities could prove to be the final nail in the coffin for her political career. Local politicians and community members have expressed concerns that her presence at Diddy's parties indicates a deeper moral or ethical failing, particularly for someone in a public office. For Henyard, the stakes are exceptionally high. If these rumors gain traction, they could lead to legal investigations or even calls for her removal from office. Critics assert that if Henyard had knowledge of, or participated in, any illegal activities at Diddy's gatherings, she should face consequences similar to those Diddy is now confronting. Already, the pressure is mounting for Henyard to respond to these allegations and work to clear her name before the damage to her political future becomes irreparable. The situation took a dramatic turn when Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor, finally surrendered to authorities following an explosive FBI raid that exposed a long-simmering scandal. This isn't just a case of a politician losing her way. It involves millions of dollars allegedly stashed away while her town struggled with crippling debt. Now, Henyard faces the grim reality of possibly spending the next 25 years behind bars, with her political legacy hanging in the balance. The plot continues to thicken, revealing a chaos far more complex than anyone anticipated.
Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new crisis on her hands. She's being booted out of her home. Filed in Cook County Court against Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. Henyard has been renting a home in the 14600 block of South Harvard.
It's shocking to think that someone once deemed untouchable could fall so spectacularly, yet the 22 federal charges against Tiffany Henyard are anything but trivial. This isn't your typical corruption scandal. It's on an entirely different scale. We're talking about millions of taxpayer dollars allegedly misused, mishandled, and concealed from the very constituents she was supposed to protect. The FBI had been monitoring her for months, quietly gathering evidence, sifting through subpoenas, and listening to whispers behind closed doors. Then, they finally struck. What makes this even more jaw-dropping is that this isn't her first brush with the law. She was previously arrested for vehicle trespassing, but now she finds herself in much deeper trouble. Let's not kid ourselves. Tiffany Henyard never cared about the residents of Dalton or the town's finances. While the community struggled with hardship, she lived like royalty, flaunting her power as if it were a twisted game. Henyard's reckless financial behavior transformed Dalton's treasury into her personal piggy bank. It's infuriating to consider how a town can go from a healthy budget to being dead broke in just a year. And the reason is clear. Tiffany Henyard. Her lifestyle wasn't just extravagant. It was excessive. Imagine a small-town mayor indulging in lavish habits while her constituents struggled to make ends meet. Henyard was living as if she'd won the lottery, making moves like a Powerball winner, all on Dalton's dime. Need proof? Consider her $7,700 shopping spree at Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair. This scandal has shaken the community to its core, revealing how far Henyard was willing to go in her quest for personal gain. The revelation that she mismanaged public funds, all while portraying herself as a dedicated public servant, feels like a slap in the face to every taxpayer. As the details continue to unfold, it's clear that this once prominent figure in local politics has now become a cautionary tale of corruption and betrayal. The fallout from her actions will likely resonate for years to come, as residents grapple with the consequences of her mismanagement and deception. It's shocking to think that Tiffany Henyard treated her role as mayor like some twisted game, transforming Dalton's treasury into her personal piggy bank. Her reckless behavior doesn't even begin to capture the magnitude of her betrayal. It was a slap in the face to every taxpayer. How does a town go from a healthy budget to being dead broke in just a year? The answer is simple. Tiffany Henyard. Her lifestyle as Mayor Moneybags wasn't just extravagant, it was downright excessive. Picture this, a small-town mayor with a taste for the finer things, splurging taxpayer dollars on luxurious habits, while the people of Dalton struggled to make ends meet. Henyard lived as if she had won the lottery, making decisions like a Powerball winner. Except it was all on Dalton's dime. Need proof? Consider her $7,700 shopping spree at Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair. It's shocking to realize that someone once hailed as untouchable could fall so spectacularly. The 22 federal charges against her are anything but trivial. This isn't your everyday corruption scandal. It's on a completely different scale. We're talking millions of taxpayer dollars allegedly misused, mishandled, and outright concealed from the very constituents she was elected to protect. The FBI had been tracking her for months, quietly gathering evidence, sifting through subpoenas, and listening to whispers behind closed doors. Then, at last, they struck. What makes this situation even more jaw-dropping is that this isn't her first run-in with the law. She was previously arrested for vehicle trespassing. But now, she finds herself in much deeper trouble. Let's not get it twisted. Tiffany Henyard never cared about the residents of Dalton or the town's finances. While the community grappled with significant hardships, she flaunted her power and indulged in a lavish lifestyle. Her actions have left a lasting impact, raising serious questions about her integrity and commitment to the people she was supposed to serve. The fallout from this scandal is likely to resonate for years as residents come to terms with the extent of her mismanagement. Henyard's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of corruption and the betrayal of public trust, reminding us all that those in power must be held accountable for their actions.
To approve the Gospel Fest.
Motion failed.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the House Fest?
Event after event denied for Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard under an ordinance designed to rein in.
But that's not the end of it. Tiffany Henyard wasn't about to settle for an ordinary lifestyle. She was living large in first class. As if running the town into the ground wasn't enough, she maintained a 24/7 glam squad at her beck and call. After all, looking fabulous is essential when you're torching the town's finances. You might be wondering just how bad it could get. In just 1 year, Henyard's administration burned through over $112,000 in travel expenses, swiftly transforming Dalton's once healthy $5.6 million surplus into a staggering $3.6 million debt, all on her watch. While the town plunged deeper into financial chaos, Henyard seemed to embrace the lifestyle of a real housewife of Illinois, reveling in extravagance. The public outrage became so fierce that Dalton officials had to strip her of access to village credit cards for unauthorized purchases. Picture this: a mayor having her own spending privileges revoked while still trying to live like royalty. If you thought Henyard's shopping spree was outrageous, buckle up. She didn't just indulge herself. She made sure her family cashed in too. How much, you ask? A staggering $161,000 of public funds went to repay her mother's driveway. That's right, over $500,000 for a single driveway. But the spending spree didn't end there. Henyard, who proudly calls herself the Dalton Diva, took things even further by transforming the town's police force into her own private chauffeur service. Instead of patrolling the streets and tackling crime, officers were tied up handling Henyard's personal errands, acting more like her hired help. A former police chief revealed that those officers were desperately needed on the streets, yet they were stuck chauffeuring the mayor around, effectively acting as her private security team. Meanwhile, residents were left to wonder if there were any cops still available to answer 911 calls. Even after her spending privileges were stripped away, Tiffany Henyard wasn't about to let something as trivial as rules stop her from partying. Cut off by the Illinois State Comptroller for reckless expenditures, she decided to host a massive event for the town. Because why not? She splurged $50,000 on entertainment that barely lasted an hour. Keek Wyatt earned a cool $30,000 for a 30-minute set, while Jay Holiday walked away with $20,000 for his brief performance. That wasn't all. Henyard also spent an additional $36,000 on sound systems, staff, equipment, comedians, and believe it or not, $6,600 just for bounce houses. Tempers flared among residents like Jennifer Roberts, who vented, "That's my money, the people's money." Former trustee Valeria Stubbs didn't hesitate to call the event a complete disaster, noting that only about 70 people even bothered to show up. Stubbs remarked that Henyard loves using tax dollars to promote herself. Another resident, Sher Britton, fanned the flames, labeling Henyard a narcissist. "She'll keep doing whatever she wants, and it won't stop until she's in cuffs," Britton said. But while all eyes were on the FBI and furious locals, the real twist went unnoticed. That quiet assistant always lingering in the background. It turns out she was the one holding the match that set it all ablaze.
WGN Investigates has learned South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard has lost another key ally. Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent, she will be a whistleblower.
Meet Carmen Carlisle, once the indispensable right hand of Tiffany Henyard and her trusted confidant. For 2 years, Carmen had a front-row seat to Henyard's murky operations, witnessing every under-the-table maneuver. But then something changed. Perhaps it was guilt or frustration. But Carmen snapped. When she did, she didn't hesitate. She went straight to the feds armed with a mountain of evidence, each piece more damning than Henyard's oversized ego. Carmen wasn't just sipping coffee anymore. She was spilling every last drop of tea. She blew the whistle on Henyard's scheme, revealing how she turned Dalton into her personal cash cow. No one was spared. Employees, vendors, and residents were all entangled in her web of manipulation. As the walls began closing in on Henyard, she continued to flash her megawatt smile for the cameras, while Carmen refused to stay silent any longer. For 2 years, Henyard wielded her influence over employees and vendors, using her authority to climb the ranks while maintaining a facade of prosperity. This illusion of success was financed by the very community she was meant to support, as Thornton Township in Dalton unknowingly funded her extravagant lifestyle. However, things took a perilous turn when Carol began speaking out. This wasn't merely a case of harsh words exchanged online. Carmen faced mistreatment, and although no one has explicitly assigned blame, whispers in the community suggest that Henyard may have had a hand in it. Carmen wasn't the only one turning against Henyard. Remember Keith Freeman, the former aide now facing bankruptcy fraud charges. Whispers are circulating that he may also be cooperating with the FBI. Henyard has been playing a perilous game. When firing individuals didn't silence them, she resorted to more menacing tactics, intimidating trustees and deploying every strategy in her arsenal. She misused taxpayer funds to maintain her public image, with her face splashed across billboards and government buildings like a dystopian dictator striving to keep control. The damage she inflicted isn't merely financial. It's deeply personal. Lives have been shattered by her corrupt practices, and now victims are stepping forward, sharing their heart-wrenching stories of intimidation and financial devastation. Just when Henyard thought she had evaded capture, she found herself targeted by an even greater threat: the FBI. When it comes to missing funds, federal agents don't take it lightly. So just how much money are we really talking about here?
Happening in court and what was happening in Dalton, and they told me they was investigating and they would be.
Rumor has it that the FBI is thoroughly investigating Tiffany Henyard's financial dealings, issuing subpoenas left and right as they dive into credit card records, personnel files, and anything else they can find. This isn't just a routine inquiry. The FBI stormed into Dalton Town Hall, prepared to sift through records, armed with legal documents to trace every dollar Henyard might have funneled into her designer handbag. The subpoenas have uncovered a trove of scandalous information, revealing the extravagant trips Henyard enjoyed, while police officers trailed her like a celebrity, alongside every cent that mysteriously disappeared from Dalton's accounts. The FBI isn't limiting its investigation to her official duties. They are also scrutinizing her personal affairs. Her cancer charity is under close examination, and federal agents are eager to review the finances of her political action committee. They are digging into her private business dealings, attempting to piece together the intricate web of Henyard's financial history, and the emerging picture is far from favorable. Trustee Brittany Knorr recently revealed that the community has been pleading for assistance, indicating significant expenditures that have remained concealed from the public eye. It seems Dalton has been in distress for some time, and now the FBI is finally responding to that cry for help. But it's not just Henyard facing the heat. The investigation is extending to everyone within her political network. Anyone who has benefited from the situation is now under federal scrutiny. Rumors suggest the FBI means business. They've deployed cutting-edge technology and ramped up electronic surveillance to catch any shady dealings that Henyard and her associates might still be up to. It's astonishing that even with agents buzzing around town and chaos erupting, Henyard remains comfortably ensconced in her mayoral office, acting as if nothing is amiss. As Dalton sinks under a mountain of debt, she continues to behave like it's just another day at the office. Residents are growing increasingly frustrated as they watch their town deteriorate, while Henyard seems to revel in a carefree lifestyle akin to a reality TV star. Just when it appeared she would continue battling the mounting pressures, she executed a stunning twist. She turned herself in. Imagine this: while the FBI tightens the noose and her inner circle unravels, Henyard opts for a jail cell instead of her opulent life. What could prompt a small-town mayor who has enjoyed a life of luxury to choose incarceration over her extravagant existence?
Owns a U-Haul rental and trucking business in South Suburban Dalton and says he went to the FBI several months ago, frustrated that the village of Dalton would not renew his business license.
Absolutely. Tiffany Henyard reportedly strolled straight into the arms of the FBI, transitioning from exuding confidence to surrendering as if it were a minor inconvenience. But here's the kicker. Whispers are circulating that Henyard has a strategy in play. Rumor has it she's looking to strike a deal with authorities, possibly revealing incriminating information about her accomplices in exchange for some leniency. However, Henyard's surrender isn't just a personal matter. It resonates throughout the entire community of Dalton, a town that has been yearning for justice for years. Once reveling in luxury, adorned in designer outfits and flying first class, she now finds herself donning a prison jumpsuit, a stark contrast to the glamorous life she once lived. To add insult to injury, her lawyer abandoned her due to unpaid legal fees, which is quite the twist considering she had been pulling in over $220,000 annually. So how did someone like Henyard end up in this predicament? It all began with her inherited role as township supervisor, complete with a hefty salary. In a desperate move to maintain her grip on power, she even attempted to manipulate the system by passing a dubious ordinance that slashed the next supervisor's salary to a mere $25,000, effectively discouraging any challengers from stepping up against her. That's the twisted level of control she sought. Unrest in Dalton has been brewing for years, with residents organizing rallies to demand justice. The situation has deteriorated to such an extent that they had to enlist Lori Lightfoot, the former mayor of Chicago, at a staggering rate of $400 an hour to help restore order. Just think about how dire things must be for them to bring in a heavyweight like Lightfoot to salvage their struggling town. Henyard's extravagant spending and flagrant disregard for the law quickly drew attention. Now Dalton finds itself grappling with nearly $20 million in debt, while residents yearn for a savior to rescue them from this turmoil. And let's not overlook the millions still unaccounted for. Henyard's surrender doesn't guarantee the return of those funds. Dalton's financial crisis remains a significant concern, leaving many to wonder if they will ever see that money again. The scandals are far from over. Henyard is currently embroiled in a lawsuit initiated by former employee Dwayne Thrash, who alleges he was terminated for refusing to participate in one of her dubious schemes. In a surprising twist, many residents of Dalton seem relieved to witness their mayor being led away in handcuffs. Can you imagine reaching a point where the arrest of your mayor feels like a victory? It's as if the heavy cloud that has loomed over Dalton for years is finally beginning to dissipate, offering a glimmer of hope at the end of a long, dark tunnel. Yet Henyard's decline extends beyond financial matters. Her reputation is crumbling under a slew of serious allegations. These include claims of misconduct during official city trips, wrongful terminations, and even accusations of mistreatment involving employees. These aren't just minor allegations. They introduce a profound new dimension to the scandal that has shaken Dalton to its very foundation. However, the situation is becoming increasingly complex. While rumors suggest that Henyard has surrendered to authorities, doubts linger. Some speculate she may be maneuvering behind the scenes, perhaps angling for a more favorable deal, or intriguingly trying to shield someone more influential. Is she remaining silent to safeguard her own interests, or is there a deeper secret at play? The uncertainty surrounding her potential incarceration leaves the community in suspense, eagerly awaiting the arrival of genuine justice. Frustration hangs in the air, so that's all from today's video. Stay tuned to CLEB and audios, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.